Do you know that The Australian has recently reported a significant rise in Australia's net migration and raises the question of whether this increase is sustainable? According to the report, net overseas migration is projected to reach 650,000 over the next 2 financial years, 2022-23 and 2023-24. For detailed information, watch this video till the end, and yes, like and share the video, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel.
Warm welcome from Brain Drain Consultants to our immigration information and news channel, A2Z Immigration Updates.
This table illustrates the significant shift in the level of net overseas migration. Net overseas migration is calculated by comparing the number of migrant arrivals to the number of migrant departures each year. A positive net migration occurs when there are more arrivals than departures. Due to border closures during the pandemic, Australia experienced a remarkably low level of net migration from September 2020 to 2021. However, the rebound in migration within just 1 year was far greater than anticipated by officials in Canberra when they prepared the 2022-23 federal budget statement published last year. This second table compares the net migration between September 2021-22 and 2019. The high level of net migration in 2021-22 was primarily due to people choosing to stay in Australia rather than to an influx of new arrivals. The increase in net migration during these 2 years was largely driven by changes in the movements of temporary residents, such as international students, working holiday makers, and other temporary or bridging visa holders. The Department of Home Affairs provided statistics on changes in the number of temporary residents in Australia, which sheds light on how net migration may have been impacted by various temporary visa types. These statistics are presented in this table. Changes in the movements of international students and working holiday makers have been the primary reason for the higher number of migrant arrivals over migrant departures since 2021. As a result, in the most recent year, a significant number of these temporary residents arrived in Australia, while few departed. The speed of this increase has exceeded the expectations of policy makers. Many temporary residents, including those on bridging visas, were also expected to leave Australia by September 2022, but did not. The number of people on bridging visas reached a record high of 369,000 in September 2022. Furthermore, during the pandemic, the Morrison government extended eligibility for a temporary employment visa subclass 408 to individuals in Australia whose temporary visas were due to expire. This allowed many people to remain in Australia who would have otherwise left. The recent increase in net overseas migration can be attributed to policy changes that enabled people to remain in Australia, rather than facilitating their arrival. This trend continued in February 2023 when the Albanese government allocated additional resources to clear the backlog of people on bridging visas. This has caused a significant decrease in the number of people on bridging visas, with many of them being granted permanent residence. However, this temporary surge in net migration is not expected to continue for long. The pandemic-induced unusual movements are projected to last for 2 to 3 years, after which net migration is anticipated to return to pre-pandemic levels, as the number of migrant departures increases again. While the impacts of this temporary surge in net migration on the labour force and housing are complex and cannot be oversimplified, the high level of net migration is largely due to people who were already working and living in Australia choosing to remain. Students often live in student accommodation or overcrowded conditions, while working holiday makers typically reside in backpacker hostels. Nonetheless, there is no denying that the rental housing market in Australia is under significant pressure, partly due to the conversion of long-term rentals to short-term, with migration adding to this pressure.
We hope you appreciate our efforts to provide important and accurate immigration information. Please share your feedback and suggestions in the comments section. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel to show your support, and yes, don't forget to press the bell icon. Thank you for your valuable time, and we hope to see you again soon with another video. If you need any further assistance or want to discuss anything related to your immigration dreams, then you can book an expert consultation session with our team of registered migration consultants.